All right.
I gotta get Facebook to identify.
With that nice little long code. I'll tell you, my good friends at Enchanted Designs always bring me lovely flowers.
Yeah, they are really pretty.
All right,
Yeah.
Michael, all we had were the two renders of Jamie Kimmett for Silent, correct?
That's fine.
I didn't see any other videos for them.
No, we had those pictures, which were the renderings as well. So,
We got render one, render two, and
yeah.
then Jamie Kimmett.
I think as we go through our discussion, just roll those and kind of just keep them rolling, so to speak, through our discussion. That way people, and then you can cut in and out with us as well. So
All right,
we'll be good.
ready?
We're good.
Good. All right, we're going live.
We're going live. Here we go. Holland's old hat at this anyway. She's done this before. Good morning, neighbors. It's Michael coming to you live from beautiful Village on the Park this morning. Folks, I don't know if we can determine if it's spring, if it's summer, if it's still holding on to winter, but I'll tell you, I've got two great folks in the hot seat this morning with me. I've got Holland Hayden from the city of Siloam Springs. Good morning, Holland.
Good morning.
How are you? And I've got Don with me as well from the city of Siloam Springs. Don, good morning.
Good morning.
I love the shirt. You're all nice and springy. Both of you are all nice and
Thank you.
springy.
It's a beautiful day.
Oh, I tell you, it's wonderful. Well, this morning we're excited, folks, to have the city of Siloam Springs here with us talking about the Chautauqua amphitheater that is rendered already. It's been built. You all are ready for a wonderful live grand opening ceremony on May 25th. I'm excited for you all in this whole presentation that's going to happen on the 25th. Can you kind of walk us through, Don, a little bit about the amphitheater and kind of how it came to be?
Absolutely. So the amphitheater is a feature of Memorial Park. So the amphitheater is where we'll have the live shows. Featured at the park will be the amphitheater, a promenade where we're going to relocate our farmers market to, as well as the water feature. We also have the KIA Memorial that is there for those that have lost their lives in battle that are from Siloam Springs. So we're excited about the park in general. So it'll be a community hub, we believe. We want it to be outdoor living space, so when it's not actively planned, there's passive things going on in the park. So we're excited about that, and we think that'll be a great opportunity for our citizens.
Don, before I come back to you on a question about kind of how this whole thing came to be, I want to talk to Holland a minute about kind of, what, just kind of the excitement, the impact that's going on with Siloam Springs and the folks that are excited. I mean, you all have just waited for this for a long time, really, and wanted this for a long time. And now here it is. This is going to be an opening for all sorts of events. Kind of walk us through from the city side how you believe that's going to impact, folks coming, spending dollars in Siloam Springs. And
We hope there's a huge impact.
oh, certainly.
And it is a very exciting time in Siloam Springs. We have some amazing things going on and great momentum for people who live there, people who want to live there, and of course people who visit as well. And May 25th is going to be a wonderful day.
Yes.
It's going to be beautiful weather. We
It will
guarantee
be.
it.
Well.
And we are excited to bring people in who might be going out of town for entertainment so that they stay in town. And then also people who might have never visited Siloam Springs, but they come and see what's off the highway.
Well, exactly. Holland, tell us a little bit, and I'm still going to come back to Don here, so stay with me, Don. Talk to us a little bit about, from your perspective, kind of, not only the impact to small businesses there, but also, this whole concept of this amphitheater and kind of what you all envision that to be in terms of events that are going to occur. Yeah.
It's going to be a mix of some events. We're going to do a lot of live music, but we have music that really bands, all genres, and goes across genres. So we have contemporary Christian, we're hoping to have hip hop, we're going to have symphony, we're going to do some plays, recital. There's going to be a lot of different kinds of events that are programmed there, and we're still working on some of the programming for this summer.
Well, hey.
But we're thrilled to at least showcase this beautiful park.
Fantastic. Don, walk us through how this amphitheater kind of came to be.
Well, so it started with the 2014 Downtown Master Plan.
Okay.
And so what we're excited about is a lot of those initiatives in that plan have been put to place, and this is one of them. So that's how it started. And then from there, we had the opportunity to be able to apply to the Design Excellence Program with the Walton Family Foundation,
Okay.
which assisted with the design of this project. And so we wouldn't be where we are today without their involvement. So
Well,
we're really excited
certainly.
about that. And so, you know, kind of to tell off what Holland had brought up about the impact, what we think this is an opportunity to showcase our community. We call ourselves the hidden gem because people drive 412 and they see 412, but you get off 412, there's more to Siloam Springs. And so,
John Brown University.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Beautiful.
absolutely,
campus.
we've got a lot of great small businesses there, and this would be an opportunity for them to showcase themselves as well. So when people come over from the region, and then the people that are located in Siloam Springs, there's a lot of things for them to be able to do before the show, after the show, and so we want to give that opportunity to be able to showcase our community.
I'll tell you, Don, you're absolutely right. I think one of the premier events that showcases your city, at least to me, is the Dogwood Festival. What a phenomenal event.
Right.
Every year it's been built on. Every year it exceeds itself. Folks, if you've not been to the Dogwood Festival, I highly encourage you, if you've missed it in years past, get out. Come to it. I'll tell you, a lot of events that occur in Siloam Springs, they have the most beautiful setting. Even in downtown, you all have the most beautiful
Especially
setting.
downtown.
Oh, I'll tell you,
Gorgeous.
the restaurants, and we're going to have Matt on here in just a little while from Pure Joy, and I'll tell you, he's got some Pure Joy in that ice cream that he serves up. But,
Absolutely.
fantastic stuff going on. Holland, take me briefly to the thought process of this May 25th event. Opening, showcasing. You've got even some live music. So walk us kind of
we
through this
actually-
May 25th event, the times, how people can kind of connect in on
You
that.
bet. So the very first thing to know is you can get lots of information on discoversiloamsprings.com.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
a great thing to remember, all you have to do is discover Siloam Springs. Very simple.
Now you and Dawn coordinated on
You know,
that.
we worked on that, absolutely. So at 10 a.m., we are doing our ribbon cutting
Okay.
and officially opening the park.
All right.
And working with our board members, Walton Family Foundation, our architects. We're just really excited to do that. Plus, that's when we're going to turn on our water feature.
Oh, I'll tell you.
After
Can we get some pictures while we're talking
I
about
think we're
this?
so-
Look at this. Just look at this. Almost a water park, if you will.
It's a beautiful water feature that kids of all ages can play in and really enjoy.
I'll tell
And
you.
so that's going to occur at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And right after that, we're going to have one of our local bands, the Butler Creek Boys, playing down in the amphitheater.
Okay.
Because the park is kind of set up with elevation. There's kind of a top side and a down side. And on that bottom side is where the amphitheater is, so that it just kind of flows into the area.
Oh, very, very
It's
nice.
really nice. So at about 10:20,
Okay.
we'll have the Butler Creek Boys.
Okay.
And we'll play and listen and enjoy. Then encourage everyone to go get lunch downtown. At 2 o'clock, KLRC artist Jamie Kimmett
Oh.
will be coming and playing.
I'll
and
tell you,
again,
there
it's
he
another,
is right there.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. Didn't they say that he used to do backup vocals with Michael Jackson?
I believe.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
Mhm.
Wow.
He did.
Wow.
So he's been in the music game for quite a while, and he has a great following, and we're excited about that. Free concert, again, family friendly. That's at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And then enjoy downtown, do a little shopping, get something to eat, enjoy Pure Joy, and come back at 6 o'clock for Backroad Anthem, who is our headliner that we are thrilled about. There's so much fun there. Very good.
They are down to earth guys.
Right.
Yeah,
all
they're great.
the way around.
They're great. We're excited about them
A
playing.
couple of things I think are important too is that not only do we have a lot of small businesses downtown, we have a lot of businesses in Siloam Springs as a whole. So we want people to enjoy those.
Sure.
And I'll be remiss not to be able to thank our board of directors for making this commitment to the downtown master plan and seeing it through, as well as Walton Family Foundation for their
Well,
involvement.
and pardon me for just a moment. I want to make sure I don't step on any toes.
Yeah.
But I also think another important entity in there as well is the chamber, in one sense, because they bring a lot of business to downtown from that aspect of it in terms of helping out, because they I think work with the city and to try to just coordinate. Building a beautiful city that you all have.
Right. And Main Street Siloam Springs is a big part of that.
Oh, certainly.
We kind of have a three-legged approach with the chamber, the city, and Main Street Siloam Springs and how we work over there.
Great economic development impact
Yes.
that's happening in
That's
Siloam
the
Springs.
point.
And hats off to the city, because you all are forward thinking in all of this. And that's what it takes, is that forward thinking.
We're working on it.
Well, is there anything else that folks need to stay tuned in with the City of Siloam Springs and again, connecting through Discover Siloam Springs?
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say.
And a Facebook page, anything of that nature?
So really your best bet is to start with Discover Siloam Springs.
Okay.
And start there, but you can always visit the city's Facebook page
Okay.
as well.
All
And
right.
just wait for information there, sign up for the emails, and you should get lots of good information.
Excellent. Don, anything else we should let the folks know about with Siloam Springs and that beautiful community that you're all involved in there?
I say keep watch for what's happening in Siloam Springs.
Yes. More to come.
I'll tell you, definitely more to come. Don, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on the program and headlining with me this morning. Holland, thank you so
Pleasure.
much. And again, I want to thank both of you kind of for me reaching out at the last minute. I appreciate you all very, very much. Folks, up next is my good friend Matt with Pure Joy, and we're going to talk about some great ice cream. In fact, we've got some great visuals to show of some of this ice cream.
We're
and
familiar with it.
no, I'll tell you, and none of it, Holland, as Matt puts on his website there, none of it is caloried. So none of it. We'll be right back.
I was looking for a place where my mom would be safe and where if she fell, I knew somebody could get to her. I needed to know she could get her food, her meals. I needed to know that she wasn't alone and lonely.
It's tailored, it's individualized. Every resident seems to get what they need individually, and there is a real concern for what that individual need is. And there are people here to accommodate that without being condescending, and really lifting up the resident. That makes a huge difference.
Coming here and be able to share your life together and become an extended family for each other is what's really been great for us. We love it.
I think my mother really feels very much at home. She loves her living space. She has a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, very cozy place. All of the things that she loves that really, really worked are there in place in a beautiful way.
The people around here are so friendly and willing to do most things, and they have so many activities for us planned every single day. They give us a activities chart every month, even for the restaurant. They give us a menu every day. Every week we get a new menu, so we know what we're going to eat.
I can't tell you how my mom she's just blossomed. She's so happy here. And she looks 10 years younger. She's walking much more. She got no exercise at her home. She's walking all over the place, and she's become very social, which I never thought my mom was very social. And she just, it's saved her life. It really has.
We're back, folks, live from beautiful Village on the Park. I'll tell you, next week, Jeremy, we're going to get the guys to get the camera and really show what's behind us, I think. I think that these flowers are phenomenal, and they are Pure Joy. But I've got Matt here in the seat with me from Pure Joy this morning. Wonderful ice cream facility, wonderful, just what I call a great place to get the family together and just have some what I call good conversation time.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's what we were trying to create when we made
Man,
the space.
I'll tell you, Jill Rohrbach wrote in a piece, really her headline to her article not long ago was, I don't think there's a better name than Pure Joy for an ice cream place. It pretty much sums up the experience for eating this wonderful cold treat. Matt, tell us how Pure Joy came to be and what it's all about.
Well, the name actually was one of the easiest things for us. Since you started with that, I'll kind of explain that. But yeah, I was making ice cream at home and making it with pure ingredients. That was kind of my focus. I'd been to an ice cream shop in Kansas City that did that. And I couldn't drive 3.5 hours every day to get ice cream or every week to get ice cream. So I just decided to make it at home. And when it came time to give it a name, we were doing a fundraiser for some friends of ours, and they were adopting, and we were like, what should we call it? We should call it something. We should give it a name. My wife and I have done several different businesses, and she's a graphic designer, and we said, well, Pure Ingredients. The girl that they were adopting, the middle name was Joy, and so we said Pure Joy, and we just kind of ran with it, and it stuck.
Went from there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we've got a rendering real quick, really the front part of the building here of Pure Joy. That's a nighttime shot, I think, in downtown Siloam Springs, I think.
Yeah, that's actually from probably the first week of being open, I think. That's pretty much right at the beginning.
Wow. I'll tell you, I was impressed when I started looking at kind of just some of the reviews that you've had from various folks on your not only on your web page but Facebook. I mean, my goodness, the followers you have on Facebook are phenomenal.
We feel really blessed that people enjoy what we do, and I feel like we have a product that's really fun to sell too. Like, nobody shows up and is in a hurry for their ice cream, and nobody shows up and is like, I want ice cream now, darn it. Everybody's usually celebrating something. You don't go get ice cream when you're in a hurry. You go get ice cream when you're celebrating and having a good time.
Well, exactly, and it is a family event at the end of the day. That's what it's about, is that family event time to just come and just really kind of just unwind and sit and really just kind of reconnect, because sometimes we get so lost in the day-to-day. And I tell you, as we show kind of some of our other pictures here a little bit of Pure Joy, this particular flavor that I pulled, which one is this one? This one looks like it's a berry of some sort, but it looks like it is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's...
Talk to us a little bit about some of those key flavors that you put together.
Yeah, so this one, we make a new variation of this. This was called Black and White because it's blackberry and white wine.
Oh.
And we switched over because we wanted to be able to make a flavor like this year round. Okay. And we tried different berries, and raspberries were one that we felt like we found a good supplier to get them all year. Okay. So we do raspberry and white wine. We call it red and white.
Red and white.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah.
I'll tell you. So, what goes into the process? We've got a little commercial afterwards when you and I get off the air here. I've got a commercial break with a gentleman that did a little blogging opportunity with you, brought his daughter with him, and has got a video clip
yes,
out there.
Yes, the bus vlogger,
the bus vlogger. And so we're going to show that at our commercial time, because I thought that was great to really talk, really kind of show. He kind of got behind the scenes a little bit. But
you're reaching back. That was before we even had our ice cream shop. That's back there,
yeah. Research on this stuff, so I'm kind of keyed in when it comes to great places.
You really have done your research.
But kind of walk us through, where you kind of source your flavor or products from.
Yeah, since the beginning, a really important aspect for us is that our ice cream, as much as possible, the ingredients come from local places, and that we highlight local producers.
Sure.
And so kind of our flagship flavor, which is Happy Goat, is made with goat cheese and honey.
Ooh.
And we've always made that with local honey, kind of moved around with different apiaries in the area. And as we've grown and become bigger than some of the places we were buying from. But the goat cheese has come from White River Creamery for I don't know, maybe 4 years or something like that, 5 years now.
Wow.
And so it's really fun to have built that relationship with them and know their kind of their ebb and flow of how their production goes year round.
Okay.
They stop producing the cheese in the winter, so now we have to make a big batch right before the end of the year.
Really? So,
yeah.
so you kind of have to almost pre-plan ahead a
Yep.
little bit for
Yep.
that.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to have that relationship and be able to work with people locally to keep a consistent product all year round.
Wow, phenomenal. So, how exciting. May 25th, my friend.
Yes.
You're going to be dishing up some ice cream.
Yes,
Talk to
yes.
us a little bit about that event and how you came to get involved with that.
We're super excited about being involved with that event, partly because my wife and I have been supporters of downtown for quite some time, and she was actually on Main Street Siloam Springs board.
Okay.
At the time that the master plan was originally developed. So she rolled off. They have term limits or whatever, and she rolled off the board a few years ago. But it's really fun for us to see something she was involved with, and we were both. I was at all the meetings for all of that. It's really fun to see that actually happen and have it be designed and be done. And I think it's going to be wonderful for the community. We're really excited about it.
Well, I'll tell you, you were talking about your goat flavor a little bit there. This Midnight Mocha, let's talk a little bit about that a moment. This is with Estancia chocolate and locally roasted coffee. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So that is another one of our original flavors. So I think I started making that 6 or 7 years ago. Before we had any local chocolate producers in the area, we now have Markham and Fitz and Kaya in Northwest Arkansas. And before that, we were looking for chocolate and as local as we could get it. And up in Springfield, Missouri, Askinosie Chocolate is making some outstanding chocolate. And we connected with them and started making that flavor. And we've worked with, we've kind of moved around with different roasteries in the area. We've had roasteries get closer and closer to Siloam Springs, and now we have 2 wonderful roasteries over there that we work with. So it's really fun.
I go back just a minute ago to this event for the 25th, and 150. You're looking for those first 150 folks to give a scoop to.
Yes, yes.
You're going to be putting some ice cream together, for a little bit of time, man.
Oh yes, yes. Now that it sounds like a lot, and I don't mean to downplay the numbers, but yeah, we do quite a few events. We're finally getting into our groove where we can handle 150 scoop day. It used to be a bit overwhelming for us, but yeah, we've got a beautiful cart now that we use at events like that, and 2 people can scoop from it. So we're gonna have 2 people up there dishing. You're gonna want to get there early if you're coming to the event and you want to get one of those 150 free scoops. Those could go in the first half hour. Honestly, we can scoop pretty fast now.
I may need to put my plug in first in line or something, or at least second or third back anyway, because I'll tell you, your ice cream is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal. And how can folks reach you? I mean, in other words, your website, by phone, where you're at, all that good stuff.
So our shop in Siloam Springs is the best place. That's our home base, and 479-524-3221 is the number there.
Okay.
Or they can go to our website, purejoyicecream.com, and we have a form on there if you're interested in talking to us about events, catering, or a festival or event that you have. You can contact us there. If you're looking for a job, we've got job applications on there. And if you're just interested in asking us about something maybe outside of the normal things, you can contact us there as well. So
well, for our folks that we connect with, do us a favor, go out, like our page, because we want them to connect, and we're going to have the video on our page, but also share it to yours as well. So we'd love to have that opportunity to connect both ways, so those folks can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
And fantastic. One other quick note, hours. Talk to me a little bit about hours, because I'll tell you, growing up in Kansas City like I did, Baskin and Robbins, one of those wonderful franchise
Yes.
facilities that's around the United States.
That is where I fell in love with ice cream.
Really?
My mom was a huge fan of ice cream, and she was a huge fan of Baskin Robbins. So their lemon custard
Yes.
was my favorite. It was a different flavor. It was not something you found at any other ice cream shop. So I've always kind of been fascinated by unique and different flavors.
Well,
But yeah, where were you headed with that?
well,
Sorry.
no, you're just right. No, growing up in Kansas City like I did, I'll tell you, man, it was always, there were several creameries there and several great ice cream opportunities that you could have. But in terms of hours, uniquely, I was always used to those guys because they carried other products like milk and cheese and things like that.
Yeah.
What I like about your store is it is just unique to ice cream. In other words, you're not carrying other assortments of things, but it is, in one
Yeah.
sense, it's great. And so you all have some different hours. It's like opening at noon, as an example, I think, is what I saw on your website.
Yep.
In doing my research, anyway.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We were kind of cautious going into opening our own shop. Originally, my vision was just Wednesday through Saturday, but as we were doing the construction, which I did a lot of it myself, it was about 9 to 10 months of construction.
Okay.
I say I did it by myself. I had family, my father-in-law, and a lot of friends help, but I kind of spearheaded a lot of it. And as we were doing it, we started hearing back from the community that they really wanted us to be open on Mondays because not a lot of things were open. And then people would be like, "Are you going to be open on Sunday afternoons?" And so in the end, we decided to be open 7 days a week, and we're open noon to 10 every day except Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday we're open 2 to 9.
Okay.
So yeah, we want to be available anytime somebody wants to celebrate or spend time with someone they care about,
Well.
and make memories and get together with the rest of their community. My only regret is that the space is not bigger. I was cautiously like, we don't need a big space.
Right.
Yeah, my only regret is that we don't have more space to house even more people for more events and more gatherings. So,
Some of the best
it's always on my
things-
mind.
There you go. Some of the best things are worth waiting for, man.
I think so too.
It's anticipation when you're standing there in line.
Yep,
And
yep.
all of a sudden you're like, oh, I hope when I get my ice cream I've got a place to sit. But if not, guess what? It's great to stand outside and look around downtown Siloam Springs.
Yeah, we've now got plenty of benches and bump outs downtown and wonderful places, stores you can walk through while eating your ice cream around us. So yeah,
You can't be.
lots of places to go eat it once you get it. Get in and get out though. It's only 7 foot by 15 foot or something inside. It's pretty small.
My wife would say it almost reminds us of our first home. So.
Yep.
Well, Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being on the program. We were excited to have you.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for coming on at the last minute. I know I reached out yesterday and I was thinking, oh, I hope I can get him on here.
I'm really glad it worked out. Thank you.
Well, folks, up next is our good friends from Village on the Park. I'm going to get them back in here, and we're going to upset the schedule a little bit, but we're going to get them back in here and talk about some great things. One of the things, Matt, I was going to mention is these folks here yearn for the days of good old ice cream socials. I think get your cart out here. Bring this for the folks because I'll tell you, they've got two wonderful communities between Rogers and Bentonville.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I imagine if you come here to Bentonville or even over to Rogers, I bet they can truck those folks over there and have a great outdoor ice cream social.
That is our goal. Our goal is to be here at as many events as possible around the area.
I'll tell you, these folks here, they are alive and well, and they're loving life. And I'll tell you, I
Yep.
thought about that yesterday when I was talking, getting you in the program. I said, I got to get Matt, see if I can put a plug in for these folks and get a great ice cream social here. They love that.
We will do it. Yeah, you'll see. Watch our social media or a calendar. We're getting ready to put a calendar up on our website about the events that we'll be doing in the area. So
Well,
Yeah, watch
I'll
that.
get you connected with those folks, and they can reach out to you.
cool.
Matt, thanks
Thank
for
you.
being on the program. Folks, we'll be right back.
Today we had a daddy-daughter day making and eating ice cream with an ice cream magician at Pure Joy Ice Cream. And the father of the year is... Hey, I'm here with Matt of Pure Joy Ice Cream here in beautiful Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Nice town, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a fantastic town.
Tell me about Pure Joy. Where'd you come up with the name, first of all?
The name kind of came to us. We were using pure ingredients, just making ice cream at home for fun.
Yeah.
And just always making our ice cream with pure ingredients. We were kind of challenging ourselves to say, hey, can you make ice cream, something that's typically not thought of as healthy, but make it with real pure ingredients and nothing artificial. And so we were doing that, and then some friends of ours were adopting a little girl from China, and we decided to do a fundraiser for them. And the little girl's name was Esther Joy. And so the name kind of came together that way, Pure Joy.
Wow.
So,
And it's just grown from there.
yeah, that's how it started.
Well, like you and I were talking about earlier, you know, when it's something that you're passionate about, you geek out about, and you just kind of step into that, other people get excited too, and can't help but get behind you on it, you know?
Yeah. Passion has a way of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of passion, we're making coffee ice cream. Is that the name of it? What do you call it?
Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe. Today we're using a local coffee brand out of here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yes, we're using Onyx Coffee today. We're using their Guatemalan La Bendición.
Yeah, I'm going to trust you on that.
We're going to call it that.
Cool.
But yes, we're using their coffee. These guys are great. We use milk from Milk and Cream from Ozark Mountain Creamery. And then we use a minimally processed sugar. And then we use egg yolks. And then in this recipe, I think the only other things we added is salt and coffee.
Keep it simple.
Coffee beans.
Well, let's put it together and let's eat it. Thanks, man.
Sounds good.
I like the little pinkies.
I like how much you do.
Got a little. Thanks again, Matt. Go catch up with Pure Joy Ice Cream on social media and at purejoyicecream.com to find out where you can get a pint. And go check out onlyinark.com. This is my first collaboration with them, but I have a feeling this is just the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Until next time, life's what you make it. Let's get our hands dirty.
You like it?
We're back, folks. I'll tell you, Pure Joy again. What a great opportunity with Matt out of Siloam Springs. Aaron, great to have you from Village on the Park this morning. I finally got you on.
I know. I'm a hard one to catch for sure.
That is great.
I love it.
Mike keeps dodging the camera with me.
I know.
He used to be in radio and do all this stuff, and now he just dodges the camera.
He's a very charismatic gentleman, I
He
will say
is.
that. He's got lots of personality, and you would think he would be more apt to be on screen, but
Well,
anyway.
I'll tell you, this has been an exciting program this morning. We've been talking with the city of Siloam Springs. They've got their master plan with their new amphitheater.
So awesome.
And so I reached out to some businesses in Siloam Springs to really kind of feature them because, you know, part of our program with Good Morning Neighbor is to really highlight what's going on regionally across Northwest Arkansas.
Absolutely.
But I can't thank you all enough for having us here on the program. As far as having our program here, we love it. It's a great backdrop. It's wonderful to talk about this facility. I could talk about this facility for days on end.
Oh, well,
and
we appreciate that, and it really is.
Oh.
And that's part of what we do too, is we want to stay connected with the local community, since we have so many people moving here from out of state,
Well,
from out of the region.
Exactly. And here toward the end of the program, we're going to have Kara with Kara Stewart with, let me think here a minute, Weichert Realty. I had to stop and think just a minute, but anyway, my senioritis kicks in a little bit. So, but Kara is the relocation developer for Weichert Realty. And I'll tell you, when folks move here, as you well know, Aaron, it seems though that the children come and then the parents come.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden it's like, well, where do we go? You know, we're reaching that age, that plateau of, look, I don't want 5,000 square feet. I don't want 3,000 square feet. I don't want a huge home.
Right.
What I want to be able to do is travel, enjoy, but I want to be around the grandkids.
Absolutely. Simplify your life so you can really enjoy the good things.
And
Absolutely.
you all offer that.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you've got 31 cottages here. You've got a memory care unit.
Yes.
You've got residential care here.
Yes, sir.
You've got apartments. You've got, I mean, I go back to this. I'm looking through this. Folks, this pamphlet, I know we can't really zoom in on this, but this pamphlet, Aaron, look at this.
I know.
All of these events. I mean, this reads like a TV guide of events.
Well, and the great thing is, upon discovery, we learn about our residents and
Yes.
what their needs and interests are. And so Emily designs our calendar based
Oh.
on that. To keep the community going. You know?
Well, you know, she always puts together a wonderful little theme here called "Welcome to Our Family."
Yeah.
Today, I loved this particular one because I'm a big Charles Schulz fan. So on the front, again, I know you can't see it, but happiness is home.
Oh, absolutely.
With Snoopy laying on top of his doghouse, and this is fantastic. And I'll tell you, the other thing is, you all just, you know, it's like one big family.
Yes, sir.
And where you all end up really having great events like the Cinco de Mayo event. I mean, my goodness, these tacos on here. Folks, I wish you could see this, but these tacos are to die for on
so
here.
funny.
No, I'm like, really? I mean, I'm like, my goodness. You know,
They do a good job.
I think I'm going to have to talk to Corey because he keeps sliding me off in terms of, you know, not showing up for the good food here. But, you know, I'll tell you,
Well, you
no.
know you're more than welcome.
Oh,
to
I
come
know.
anytime.
I give Corey a hard time every day. You know, he's funny. But this is interesting to me. You know, what's new on here? Music therapy. Talk to us a little bit about some of these events that are, you know.
With Jenna and the Soul Shakers.
Jenna and the Soul Shakers.
Performer. Her voice just carries, and you can actually see her all throughout Northwest Arkansas in different bands. An acoustic set here, Jen and her friends at another place.
Wow.
Great band. They're super
Oh.
fun. But she's and you just be amazed, especially with memory care, their residents, absolutely.
I mean, I have Joe Butler with the Ability Tree Foundation out of Siloam Springs. And just, you know, just talking about what brings life to people, either with disabilities and handicaps, but more importantly, even to our seniors, you know, even to our mature group of folks that you know really still want to stay connected with life.
Absolutely.
Just because they come to retire doesn't mean that life has given up on them or that they've given up on life either.
Absolutely not. We
Yeah.
want to highlight
Mm.
and bring it to the environment in this community.
Well, and I mean Jenna and the Soul Shakers.
I know.
Well,
But
you know,
should, if you get a chance, you should
Yeah.
just check out her music. I know that she's got several events that are coming up, and I think she's on the radio today. At some
Well,
point, but Jenna,
there you
she's
go.
Great lady. Love her.
Well, and then all of the different events that you all have from coming in for what I call kind of Bible studies, coming in for the gym guys. I mean, the guys working out and throwing punches at each other, and you know, thank goodness your insurance is up to, you know. Kickboxing, you know, yeah, the ladies doing Tai Chi, and you know, I'm like, wow, I'm like, you know, next I'm going to see, you know, just this anthem of healthy people wandering around. You know,
To highlight what you just said, we are always folks like the ability to come and connect with our community. Because,
Sure.
you know, again, people are moving here from out of state, out of the region, and we want to have those local connections. And, you know, have that almost volunteerism, seniors serving seniors, seniors serving the community, so.
You know, the other great thing is you've got not one community, but two.
Yes, sir. That's
And,
correct.
and you hide over in Rogers.
I don't hide anywhere.
You don't hide anywhere?
I'm out and about in the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah, and you know, you put on some great events because I think it was, I don't remember, I think it was this year. You all had some type of event that involved wine and some, you know,
Yes.
various things. And
We have all kinds of events that are up and coming, but speaking of, I talk about one.
Yes, please
for
do.
Memorial Day here at Bentonville,
Yes.
Monday, the 27th.
Uh-huh.
They are having a backyard
bonanza.
cookout, and it's from 11:30 to 2.
Okay.
And that's here at Bentonville, and all it takes is an RSVP to come and join us.
Oh, excellent.
And then
Excellent.
to Pitch Village on the Park Rogers, Friday the 24th, they are having a luau event.
A luau.
The Surf's Up. So,
Ooh. So I could wear my Hawaiian shirt, you know. Required, yes, full dress attire is required, yes, sir.
From 11:30 to 2 as well. I'm at our Village on the Park Rogers location, so just takes the RSVP to join us for that event.
Well, fantastic. So how do they reach you? Facebook, phone you, send a friend, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
they can contact our front office
Okay.
here. Facebook, we do get a lot of event requests, Messenger, email as well.
Okay.
But I can give you that information for sure.
Excellent. Well, we'll get that hosted up on the site. But Village on the Park is the Facebook page for you all. And we're excited. I'll tell you, events always going on.
Absolutely. We're trying. We're kicking it up a notch for sure.
Well, Aaron, you know, we have a task, and that will be to twist Mike's arm, see if you and I can both compel him to get on the program again.
We'll wrangle him.
We'll wrangle him.
Yep, that's
You know,
what
he
we're gonna do, Mike.
conveniently left on vacation without telling me.
It's true. Don't let us smile
You know,
fully. No, I'm just kidding.
you
Mike,
know,
Mike
I-
is super fun.
He
He's
is.
a great guy.
He is
But
a-
he should get on here because I think it would add definitely a level of entertainment for the welcoming service.
Exactly, and might bring down his level of anxiety a little bit as
Right.
well. There you go. Well,
Love it.
Aaron, thank you for
Oh.
being on the program.
It is my pleasure.
Appreciate you very
Yes.
much. Appreciate everybody here.
Oh,
And,
we love having you all. Thank you so much for coming.
So as we go through the next couple of weeks, we need to get some folks on from different departments, kind of highlight them and
I
see
think
what we
so.
can do.
We'll do that for you.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Well, folks, we're going to be right back with our good friend. Well, I'll think of him here in just a minute. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to have Joe Butler with Ability Tree up, and Carrie will be live with him in just a few moments. We'll be right back.
Well, hey, good morning. I'm Carrie Perrin-Smith. I'm your Justice of the Peace for District 5, and that is squarely in Rogers. And this morning we are here with Joe Butler with Ability Tree, all the way from Siloam Springs.
Yes.
Now tell me about your role with Ability Tree.
Sure, Carrie. It's a pleasure to be here. And so my role is, my wife and I founded the organization about a little over 8 years ago. And so I'm the founder and CEO, basically. And the development director and a few more things. But we have a low staff and we have a lot of volunteers.
Ah, very good. So what does Ability Tree do?
Sure. So Ability Tree comes alongside families impacted by disability or special needs through recreation, education, support, and training, or REST. And that is something that we're passionate about as a family. My wife and I have 3 children, and our middle child, Micah, has special needs. And so he's been the inspiration for founding the organization and coming alongside other families like our own.
Wow, very good. So what kind of activities do you provide on a regular basis?
Sure. So one of the biggest needs that we found in just traveling around, talking to families, is just rest for parents of children with special needs. Fancy word is respite, just a temporary rest. And so we, everything revolves around that rest concept. And one of the main ways is through after-school programming, Monday through Thursday during the school year. Friday night, parents' night outs that are about 3.5 hours. They give parents a time off to go grocery shopping, take a nap, read a book, go to a movie, spend time with their significant other. And we include siblings in our programming as well. And other recreational programming like Artability, which my wife, she's an artist, so she runs that. It's a 6-week art program followed by a public art show, and tons of community events. We have a Century Friendly movie coming up in June. We've got horseback riding at New Life Ranch in Colcord, Oklahoma coming up this Thursday night. And then every summer we do what's called Micah's Big Day Out at the local aquatic center in Siloam Springs, and we're looking to do that at other aquatic centers as well. And that's basically a pool party for families of children of all ages with special needs. So place for them to come and belong, and events that are geared for them, accessible and inclusive, and where they feel welcomed and cared for.
Very good. And your building is in Siloam Springs, but you're working on a new facility.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Sure, yeah. We are located currently right now in downtown Siloam Springs, just below the new Memorial Park that's about to open up, and the new library. And so that spot has served us well for the last few years. It's a little over 4,000 square feet, but we are expanding our services. So we've started building, and that's in Siloam Springs on East Tahlequah Street, right across from the high school. And so we're building about a 10,000 square foot facility, plus additional outdoor space, about 6,500 square feet of outdoor accessible playground space. And so that'll allow us to serve many more families throughout Northwest Arkansas and Northeast Oklahoma, and just allow us to have more programming options for our families. Right now, our families can choose from 1 parents' night out a month, and the new facility will be able to offer 2 and 3 and 4, up to basically weekly parents' night out events for them, and then continue with the after school. And we're going to add some day programming for parents to bring toddlers and preschool age children to come and explore the facility, because it'll have multiple sensory rooms, very whimsical, very engaging, fully accessible, and specialized equipment that you're not going to find anywhere else in Northwest Arkansas.
Now you rely heavily on volunteers.
We do.
How can people get involved?
Sure, yeah. So the easiest way to get involved is to go to our website, abilitytree.org, and you can go directly to abilitytree.org/volunteer, and you can fill out a volunteer application online. You don't have to have any prior experience in working with children or teens or adults with special needs. You just have to have a heart to serve, and just ask a few questions there, and why you want to serve, and some of your background, and then you'll meet with one of our representatives. Amy will probably follow up with you and set up a interview, and then we'll get you plugged in.
Wow, and what kind of activities do the volunteers usually fulfill?
Sure, yeah, volunteers can help out in a variety of the programs. So mainly after school and the Friday night Parents' Night Outs. We will be starting Saturday Parents' Night Outs as well, or Parents' Day Outs. And they're usually teamed up. They go through training and then they're teamed up, sometimes one-on-one or with a higher ratio with a child with special needs or the siblings. And so just interactive play is pretty much what it is during after school. And then Friday night events, the Parents' Night Out events are themed. So there's a main theme, and there's a craft or an activity or a special guest, and then we watch a movie, and so they're in a group with other volunteers and other kids, and then there's always team members or a staff in there as well. And so we say if you're uncomfortable, we're uncomfortable. So we want you to be comfortable, and we want you to be feel like you have some training, but also you want to be there. Because if you don't want to be there, we don't want you there. But we want you there to have fun. And most volunteers, they come because they love kids, or they love what we do, and they kind of get hooked on it, and they come back.
Yeah. So you're 501c3, so people can donate to you, right?
Yes, we are a 501c3. We actually have a group 501c3 now. Our home office is in Siloam Springs. We have 4 branches outside of the state. But so yes, they can donate. AbilityTree.org/donate. We're not state funded. We're not federally funded. So we rely on individuals, businesses, churches, foundations to operate, and we're very thankful for the support from the local community, Siloam Springs, Northwest Arkansas, and beyond. But we're growing, and we're building a new facility, so we can use some more money for that.
Yeah. Now you say you have 4 branches?
We do, yes.
So tell me about those. So the Siloam Springs was number 1.
Yes.
And then tell me about these others that have spun off.
So we have 4 branches, 2 in Florida, 1 in New Jersey, and 1 in Texas. And the need for rest, the need to come alongside families impacted by special needs is national. It's global, matter of fact, and every community is impacted by disability. 10% of school-age kids have special needs, and 20% of any given community. And so the longer you live, the higher percentage you have of having a special need or disability. And so the need is universal, and our vision is really to provide rest in every community across the U.S., and hopefully we'll get to see some of that. We are seeing some of that happen now. And so we've set them up as an affiliate of AbilityTree. They're their own incorporation. They have their own budget, their own board, and they just abide by a branch affiliate agreement. And as I mentioned, we have our group 501c3, so they get their 501c3 when they're planted, and so they're off and running. And so since September of 2017, we've planted 4 branches. And I've kind of put a little freeze on that right now because there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of questions that have come up, good questions, and we've learned a lot. And we realize, it takes a lot to operate and to run a branch, and we want to better resource them. And so kind of put a freeze on that until we have someone to help operate the overall branch operations.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what are a couple of things tell us about, for families and people who don't have children with disabilities, what was the biggest eye-opener to you when you found yourself suddenly in that world?
Sure, yeah. I often say, Carrie, that I never really noticed people with disabilities until having a child with disability. I saw wheelchairs, I saw people with disabilities, but I didn't really see how it affected me, and kind of didn't get involved. And so I think one of the biggest things is just understanding that, Micah, our son, is a person, and just like anybody else. And his needs are different than maybe your needs and my needs, but he's a person, he has gifts, he has talents. And so my wife and I had to learn to get to know him and who he is. And it took a little bit longer to get to know him than it did, his older sister Hannah and his younger sister Clara. So just understanding that and the social impact of disability, there's physical and intellectual disabilities, and those are real. But then the social impact, the marginalization, and the exclusion, a lot of times that happens because just because somebody has a disability. And I think today we think, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing, I don't want to do the wrong thing, so I'm not going to say or do anything, and then we further marginalize that person. Whereas if you just go up to someone in a wheelchair or with a disability, autism, Down syndrome, whatever, and say, hi, I'm Joe, what's your name? Then if they can't verbally respond, they're probably going to either use a talkboard or somebody there with them will talk on their behalf. But get to know them and reach out, and you'll realize that they're a person just like you, and you have more in common. You're more alike than different.
Yeah.
And so I think just seeing that flesh out and seeing through Ability Tree, college students and high school students and community members just learn that these are just kids and teens and families, and getting to know them. It's been such a joy to see that.
Well, very good. Well, Joe Butler, thank you so much for coming on today, making the drive over from Siloam Springs to Bentonville.
Yeah.
It's not that far, but in Northwest Arkansas, we get all whiny about driving over the county line. So,
Yeah.
of course, you're still in the county, but
Yes.
but yeah, we don't like to drive very far for some reason around here.
Yeah.
But definitely. And again, how do they contact you?
Yes, abilitytree.org or info@abilitytree.org will also reach us by email, and abilitytree.org/volunteer or /donate if you want to give or get involved. And thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on the show today, and we'll be back very soon.
Hey friends, Joe Butler here with Ability Tree, standing on the site of our new facility, our new rest and recreation center that we are hopefully breaking ground on in March of 2019. Got some great news for you. We just received a $400,000 challenge grant from the Mabee Foundation, and we have 1 year to fulfill that grant, to match that. We actually need to raise about $475,000 to finish the building portion of the project, which will bring us to $1.7 million. But we really want to meet that grant, that match, by March of 2019. So we need your help. We need you to prayerfully and thoughtfully consider, what can I give? What can my church give? What can my company give? We can't do this without you. Thank you for your partnership, and God bless you.
And we're back, and this time we are here with Kara Stewart of the the Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I have going on vacation brain.
It's okay. No one ever can pronounce Weichert very well.
No, but I've done it so many times. I'm thinking, you think it would just roll off my tongue.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yes, I'm glad you're here. Now, we're talking about relocation this morning. How does Weichert help the relocation folks?
So we are one of a preferred broker for some of the major corporations in Northwest Arkansas. So we help anybody moving into the area with finding a home here. We'll do area tours for them and show them the area, and show them, what might the schools look like, what we have for entertainment around here, and just some of the neighborhoods. And we'll even take them all the way to Fayetteville if they would like to go there. So.
That's right. Well, I mean, because
Yes.
in Northwest Arkansas, it seems like every city is a little bit different.
Yes, every city is different, and a lot of younger people who are moving into the area want to see Fayetteville and be in that community, which is awesome. I'm a Fayetteville person. So
That's right. Well, and it's a college community,
Yes.
and I think that that does affect it. You have many more people. You have more businesses that may be catered to to people who have younger interests.
Absolutely.
You know, although I think we're starting to see some change in Bentonville a little bit. It's not a college town,
No,
but I mean, well, I won't say we do have a community college, but
Right.
but a good deal of the people that go to community college are returning students who
Yes.
are full-time employed somewhere
Yes.
else or changing careers or things like that.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely you know, not that NWAC doesn't count, but definitely it's a different student.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
community. So what do people need to think about? What do they need to tell the relocation people?
So the number one thing that we always get asked is, what is there to do, and how are the schools? And most of them have already looked up kind of how the schools rank in Northwest Arkansas, and so we provide them with you know, knowing or where to go to look up the information and where they might want to be. With regards to schools, but we also have to tell them we're always changing school districts. Like you know, the school district lines are always changing. So just because you might be in one now does not mean your kid might be in that one the next year. And so it's having those conversations that we're so fluid in our zoning for especially elementary schools.
Yeah, especially elementary.
As to where they might be. And just because you have a house and you're supposed to go to that school, it might be full. I mean, like, in setting those expectations on what that looks like.
Yeah, and definitely, I think we see that in Rogers. I've heard that we bus a lot of kids across town because all the schools.
Right.
I mean, on the east side of town, we have more younger families.
And everybody coming in has already, you know, been told by their, you know, the people they've already gotten to know in their new job, or, you know, and talk to, oh, you're supposed to be in this. You need to get in this school, or you need to really be in this neighborhood. Well,
I know.
We have such wonderful schools throughout Northwest Arkansas that it doesn't really matter where you are. They're still going to get a wonderful education, and you know, and it's public, and so you don't have to, like some of the big cities, you have to pay to go to private school. Versus here, the schools are wonderful.
Exactly, and we have a lot of charter schools here now, and there are really good private options.
Yes, absolutely.
For education.
Yeah,
as well.
if they want to do that, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's showing them that, it's showing them how. You know, the shopping that we do have, or the entertainment that we do have with regards to Crystal Bridges and the AMP, and providing them with, and the baseball field, Arvest Baseball Park in Springdale, showing them all of that, and then saying, but we still feel like this small town community. You still get the small town feel. You don't have the crime. You don't have, you know, as much traffic. I mean, we think it's traffic, but you know, they are like, oh, this is nothing. So to have that, you know, we hear all the time, oh, we're willing to drive 45 minutes to an hour to, you know, from house to work. Well, when they get here, they're like, well, if we don't have to, why would we do that? And we're like, exactly. 10, 15 minutes should probably be the max that you and most people want to end up driving. And then they get mad, you know, if they end up having to spend a couple more minutes in the car than they're used to.
Yeah, we're only here, you know, it's so funny because people move in here from all over the country where they had 40-minute commutes, 50-minute commutes, an hour and a half commute. They move here, within 6 months, they're going, I don't want to drive over the county line, you know?
No.
I don't know what it is about
I know. It's very strange that they're like, well, if we don't have to, we won't want to.
I know. It's like, let's have some quality of life. And,
yes.
Well, and the people that do move in here are generally taking very demanding jobs.
Yes.
And so they are
on the ground running, for sure. And, you know, and so we work a lot with the traveling spouse to acclimate them. And a lot of my agents who work with, you know, the buyers coming in get to be friends with the traveling spouse because they don't know anyone.
Yeah.
And to fit them into a community, or to go take, you know, I've had an agent do a cooking class with one of the spouses. You know, they've done a painting class together, and just try to get her into what different things there are in the community. I've also, you know, I am a member of the Junior League, and so to promote that and say, if you're coming from a community that has a junior league, or if your wife is a member of the junior league, maybe she can come in, and that's a great way for spouses to meet women in the community that are either professional or stay-at-home moms. It doesn't matter, but to have those connections.
I've always said, if you want to make sure that your spouse is happy when they move here, then you need to make sure they get connected, maybe in a volunteer activity.
Right.
I mean, because for so many people, their work is their community.
Yes.
And if they have children, there's some things where they can get connected with some volunteer opportunities.
But sometimes single women moving in, or
they've
single
got grown
men,
families.
Yeah, they don't. Where do I go? How do I?
Right. When you're that trailing spouse, and maybe it's taken you longer to replace your job, and that does happen.
Absolutely.
That's a reality of moving here. And what they eventually find is, well, my goodness, do both of us have to work?
Right.
But in that big gap there between finding something that, employment-wise, I've always told people, just, get in there. We have half the state's nonprofits here in Benton and Washington County. Start trying out some stuff.
Absolutely. There are so many nonprofits here in Northwest Arkansas, and if you want to work with children, there's so many. Or if you want to work with, senior citizens or adults. I mean, there's so many
There's tons
options.
of opportunity, and you can decide what you want to do.
Absolutely.
And
with the Children's Hospital being here now, it's a game changer for a lot of people who might not have taken that job to move to Northwest Arkansas, because they needed to be close to a children's hospital, and 3 hours away is just too far.
Yeah.
So to now have that is a really good thing, and Weichert partners with the Children's Hospital. We donate we send a lot of money to them for per closing. Our company partners with them in doing that. So our owners will match the agents if they want to donate to at the time of the closing, and they'll donate it on the behalf of their either the sellers or the buyers coming in. So it's a wonderful gift, and the transferee or whomever will get a letter in the mail from the Children's Hospital thanking them for that donation on their behalf. And so it's an amazing gift that we're able to do that for them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now you can also help people who are moving away.
Absolutely. So we, if it's a corporate relocation, we come in and provide them with marketing analysis on how fast it will take to sell their house, so that they can get in the new location as quickly as possible, and so that they have an idea as to what it might take. But we work really close with the relocation companies in being able to provide them with as much assistance. We have also had a single person who was already in the new location but needed to sell her home, and she wasn't here. So we were there packing up, doing those things, and I met the UPS guy out because she had some boxes that needed to be shipped, and no one was there to help. So, whatever we can do to make it as seamless as possible, or as easy as possible, and less stress for them because they are in the new location already.
Right.
Doing whatever we can to help them.
Well, and definitely being able to help find the right realtor on the other end.
Yes.
So you're not kind of blind out there.
No. And if they need some help in the other location, we have a referral program that we can absolutely get them set up with an agent over there too.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, well, that's very interesting. I love it when we talk relocation. I love it when people move here. I'm sorry they leave, but for many of them, it's not. It's about opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. And for a lot of them, we hear, I'm here 2 years. My contract says 2 years, and I'm out of here. And a lot of them stay because they love it so much here in Northwest Arkansas. It has so much, and especially if their children get acclimated into the schools, having to pull them out one more time, or they just decide it's such a wonderful community to live in that they don't want to go anywhere.
I mean, there's just a lot to be said for safety and
Yep.
having things close and everything. And still, Northwest Arkansas is pretty new.
Right.
I mean, there's
Oh.
lots of newness here.
Absolutely.
It's-
I've been here since 1994, and I have seen it grow
right.
so much. It's just so uncanny to
Yeah.
to see how much it's grown.
Yeah, and I think that most people are willing to trade off, oh, well, I don't have, I don't know, a Neiman Marcus or a Macy's or something. But, you know, we're an hour from a Macy's. We're, you know,
Right.
our 2 hour radius. There's so much to
Absolutely.
do
That's-
that you just go, okay, for a day trip, we'll go over to Tulsa.
Right. Or go up to Kansas City.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, within 3.5, we're Oklahoma City and Kansas City and Little Rock.
Yeah, and if you want to hop on a plane, there's a 45-minute airplane flight down to Dallas for the day. I mean, for the weekend. So
Exactly.
it's yeah.
Yeah. It's, I mean,
And
it's
but
amazing.
with but with the Amazium here and with the Crystal Bridges here, there's so much to do.
Right.
And with Tulsa having the aquarium and the zoo over there, it's
For real,
it's
yeah.
it's an amazing, just jaunt over there. We used to take day trips over there all the time.
Yeah, so very cool. Well, Kara Stewart, thank you so
Yeah,
much
thank
for
you.
being here on the show today. How can
Absolutely.
people reach you?
So my email address is Kara, C-A-R-A, at Weichert Realtors, or WeichertGriffin.com. Or they can call me on my office phone at 479-268-5523. And we would love to help with anything that we can.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for
Yes,
being on this show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, and we'll be back just shortly.
Thanks.
Can I say what a show?
What a show. I feel like we're on for the lightning round.
I mean, here it was. I had to laugh this morning. I walk in, and hats off to the folks at Siloam Springs. I mean, they were like, hey, we got to go. And then I got Matt with ice cream. He's like, if we don't go, we're melting.
Ice cream?
Jeremy is like, oh my gosh.
There was ice cream?
Yeah, man, it was ice cream with pure joy. Yeah, I had ice cream in his truck.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Oh, so that was hilarious. And I'm like, okay, we can do this. And Jeremy's like, yeah, we can do this.
That's always
Fantastic.
the awesome thing about working with Web Untied.
Yes. They are
Running
great.
all our like production stuff in the background because they're just so unflappable.
Well, they are, you know, and then here it was, a beautiful interview you were doing with Kara here with Weichert, and then all of a sudden the camera throws a loop on him. Jeremy's got these, you know, high-tech cords, and all of a sudden it's just like, you know, it's just like Snoopy when he went into the doghouse and throwing all the stuff out, you know, to get to what he wanted. Here's Jeremy throwing all the stuff. I mean, if we'd had a camera behind the scenes, it would have been hilarious, absolutely. But, you know, Jeremy is the camper at the end of the day. He, you know, he's the trooper. He ends up just like, okay, here we go. Here's what we got to do.
He knew exactly what to do, and we never missed a beat. So.
We didn't. We had a little blackout there for a minute or two, but, you know, it was phenomenal. The sound was going, and he was just throwing cords, and everybody was moving cameras. Well, again, we had quite a show. I mean, we really, this whole show, Carrie, as you know, ended up centering around Siloam Springs and the amphitheater. And May 25th is their grand open ceremony for that event.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and they're going to have a really just quite a time with doing the opening ceremonies there on the 25th, and then you know, folks get out to their Facebook page and also out to Discover Siloam Springs on that new page they've got.
Okay.
And they can look at all the times, but Matt with Pure Joy is going to be serving up 150 scoops of ice cream to those first 150 people free. So.
Wow.
Yeah. And, you know, here it was, I was like, there's a lot going on in Siloam Springs. And Ability Tree, you had a great interview with Joe at Ability Tree.
I tell you what, I've heard about them on KLRC, but I really didn't know a great deal about them.
Oh.
What a great story. What a great service. I mean, I was just like, parents to have a parents' night out. I mean, how wonderful is that?
Oh, you know, I got amazed in talking with Joe a little bit yesterday just about Ability Tree and just kind of some of the research I was doing on it. I really wanted to have them on the program and thought this is a fantastic way to tie Siloam Springs in with, you know, what's going on there. You know, we really sometimes in highlighting our communities kind of don't get down into the trees, you know, or into the forest, if you will.
You know, it's so amazing when I think about Siloam Springs. It feels like it's so far away.
Mm-hmm.
People do commute in from there to go to work.
Oh, they do.
And lots of people go to school in Siloam Springs, you know, for college classes and all
John
that.
Brown.
But, I mean, it's still Benton County.
It is. It is, and people don't think about that. They think it's Washington County sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, at quorum court meetings, you know, I'm sitting there with people that make that commute over from Gravett and you know, Siloam Springs and Decatur.
Gentry, all of that along the 59 corridor. Some great communities doing fantastic things out there.
Yeah,
and
really
so,
cool.
and you know, I really enjoyed with Matt talking about kind of all the different flavors that he's got, and really most interesting to me is really the local flavor that he puts into his ice cream and all of the sourcing that he does locally with, you know, coffee beans, chocolatiers, Kaya chocolate, all, you know, Markham and Fitz, all the different ones. And it's all local.
Well, and that's really cool. And I always hate to admit this, but I'd never heard of Pure Joy before the show.
Oh, fantastic ice
So
cream.
now we have to get the word out.
You do, and we do. And, you know, I think what's neat is, you know, if you're over in Siloam Springs, go downtown. They've got some fabulous, fabulous restaurants and just things to do. And, of course, the Dogwood Festival. You know, again, I always say if you haven't been, you got to go.
Yeah, the Dogwood Festival's passed, right?
It has, but, you know, put it on the calendar for next year.
Absolutely.
But, again, what a great event with the Chautauqua Amphitheater that's going to be christened over there. And part of that with the Walton Family Foundation and the grant that they got.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, to do that. Absolutely phenomenal. But I got a wonderful time to finally get Erin on the show from Village on the Park. Fantastic time to talk with her. She is, and the funniest, you know. I don't want to slight my good friend Jared, but you know, I think Erin, I've got to have her in the hot seat more often. So.
Super cute.
She is. She's phenomenal. You know, may have to see if we can get her to share a spot up here with us. So.
That would be good. She'd be really good.
She would, and so this is a beautiful facility. I mean, every time I'm looking out across through these windows, this glass, just the courtyard, the flowers, everything.
Oh, it's the roses, the knockout roses.
Exactly.
Everywhere you go.
Oh.
I always say that the knockout roses come up for Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, lo and behold, all the knockout roses and most of them are red. They actually have some species now that are pink and colors, but for the longest
I didn't know
time,
that.
Someone told me in a nursery that they only came in red.
Wow.
I'm not a big knockout roses fan, but I've learned to live with them.
Well, you became an orchid fan when we had the botanical gardens on, so.
Well, and here's what happened with my knockout roses, my knockout rose phase at the last house, the renovation project, aka the money pit.
The money pit.
Okay, so the people that rented the house before us, they had put in knockout roses. They wanted to buy the house, and so they put in a whole bunch of them. Well, when they decided they weren't going to be able to buy the house and that the houses wouldn't be sold, they took them out and left the holes. Well, there was this one little pathetic one. And
kind of like Charlie Brown's
it was
Christmas tree.
Yeah, it was it really did look like the Christmas tree. So I took it out.
Yes.
And I put it in a new place. And it started to come around. And well, I needed to balance it. And so I bought it a friend.
Wow.
Yeah, so I bought it a friend, so I suddenly had two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we put it in a place where we said, what if we wanted to echo this across the other side of the pool?
Yeah.
Well, so we bought two more. This was 4 more knockout roses
4 more.
than I ever wanted. So I learned how to, meet their special needs and all this stuff. But yeah, they take some maintenance, and I watched my neighbors put in. They must have put in a dozen. And I thought,
a dozen.
Do you have any idea what you are in?
They're kind of tied. It's kind of like owning a business. They're tied to those knockout roses.
Yeah. So I don't know. They didn't ask me.
Oh.
I could have went.
No.
But yeah, they're so lovely. And we just love them in Northwest Arkansas because, literally we have them until the 1st of December. With blooms on.
Well, here we are talking about, flowers, the scenery we have here in Northwest Arkansas. And here was you were talking with Kara about folks moving here.
Yeah.
And people wonder, well, what's so special about Northwest Arkansas? And you're like, wow, you just described the wonderful nature that we have here.
Yeah.
In the natural state.
The weather. You've got multiple seasons. You could go. My favorite of all is you could go out at 10 o'clock at night by yourself as a woman. And not be accosted. That's one of the reasons that. That's one of the things I didn't miss about. Not that it couldn't happen, but the chances of it happening. When I lived in Dallas, the metro areas, you just didn't go out by yourself at night as a woman.
No.
And I value that safety aspect so much here.
Well, and even in your subdivisions, living in a community, not that far to walk to get to things, depending on where you live. But, again, all sorts of wonderful opportunities, even in the various communities that are offered around here, from gated to non-gated to right on through to, really just activities and events. And here, Village on the Park, again, activities and events for those that have retired beyond belief.
Right. We're so fortunate.
Oh.
I'll trade a Neiman Marcus store for, safety and beautiful amenities anyway.
Well,
So, I mean,
exactly. And not only that, but we have a regional airport here where if people want to go to Dallas,
exactly.
fly to Kansas City, fly to Chicago, fly to New York, direct flights.
Well, and now we have
Yeah.
Frontier now.
Frontier to-
Flight to Denver.
Exactly.
You can connect to all kinds of places through there, but it's direct and it's budget friendly.
So, you know, I need to put in a request in from you and see if you can get the good folks out at the airport to come and have an interview with us and talk
I
about,
bet they would.
you know,
I'm not like, I don't know them that well, but.
well, you might have somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Well, I
A
tell
friend
you
of a
what,
friend of a friend, you know?
Kelly Johnson here, you know, Kelly Johnson was the first employee.
Mm-hmm.
And out
Yep.
there, and she is, I mean, she runs the place.
Oh, she does.
So,
Make no mistake about
yeah,
that.
yeah. So anyway, she would be really
Mm-hmm.
neat. And there's, well, and they continue to, you know, kind of charm new kind of specialty airlines. And
Well, they do, and our airport is phenomenal. For a regional airport, I mean, you're not getting on a puddle jumper like it was back in the day out of Fayetteville to get here, you know.
You know, I
So,
was talking with my husband the other day. So I volunteered with the Bentonville Film Festival
Sure.
last weekend.
Mhm.
And so I worked at, my friend Tina Bright was in charge of the arrivals and departures of the celebrities.
okay.
And, you know, special guests and the filmmakers and everything. And so, you know, it was just so neat to see them, you know, when they get off the plane. And, you know, I asked my friend Tina, because Tina really, she's really into like pop culture and, you know, television stars, and they see a ton of movies. And it's like all the movie stars, all the big people, you know.
Yes.
And, you know, versus me, they could get off the plane and I would go, so what is it that you do? But, so I asked Tina, I said, you know, you're so far away from all of the activities that are going on. You know, I mean, she was pretty much there the
Right.
entire 5 days before
Wow.
going, like from first thing in the morning till late at night, till when the last person came in. And, you know, I said, why would you want to volunteer out here? She said, because I get to see them when they're excited about getting off the plane here, and then I get to find out what kind of time they had when they got back on the plane.
There
And
you
they
go.
enjoy it so much here.
Oh, they do.
Now
Absolutely.
they're in this kind of, you know, microcosm
Mhm.
there when they arrive for the Bentonville Film Festival. They're hanging out with their peeps and they're
Oh,
you know,
exactly.
they're experiencing the festival inside, and they get to experience the best of Bentonville. But so many of them have been here multiple times, and they just really, they like the people, they like the way they're treated, and I think that's something we do very, very well in Northwest Arkansas.
We do. We're kind of friendly folks here.
We are, you know, where I guess that maybe that's that you know, Mid-South genteel attitude that we
Oh.
have. It's like, you're company when you're here.
Exactly.
You're special, and we're glad you're here.
Exactly.
So,
See, and
have
you
some
know,
sweet tea.
definitely, and you know, have a little taste of y'all,
Y'all?
and bless your heart.
You know. I would have said that time too.
Yes,
I mean
yes,
it in a good way, though.
yes.
See, in the South, that's what they don't tell you is that we really do mean it in a good way.
We do.
They just make fun of the rest of us. Of course, I don't really think Northwest Arkansas is technically in the South. I call us Mid-South.
In Mid-South, you know. Well, one of the things that when I first moved here in '94, Carrie, one of the things got to begin to talk to folks who had been here for years, were natives even on top of that. And the first words out of some of those folks' mouths were, you fixin' to go or fixin' to go to the Walmart or Walmarts. And I'm like, excuse me, do you want to translate that? Because I'm sitting here going, are we going to Walmart? Are we It's all up here. It is. You know, now getting it to here, it's a whole different story.
Jeremy's a really good mind reader.
He is. He's a great mind reader, and he's got two fantastic guys working with him right behind the camera, and couldn't do it without him. So, well, we're going to wrap up thanking our sponsors, Aaron at Village on the Parks here. Can't thank everybody here at Village on the Park for just letting us have the show here. Of course, we've overthanked Jeremy at Web Untied. I think now he's got this big swelled head that he's, you know.
Possible to overthink him. I mean, seriously, he does some pretty amazing stuff.
He does, and gets some pretty amazing people to help him as well. So.
It's good to see you guys. There's new faces.
There's new faces behind the camera there. So, Music Works for providing some of the equipment. KR Promotions, Amp Electric, our good friends at Barton Consulting, Dr. Charlie Barton. I always enjoy seeing Charlie when I get the opportunity to do that. Ignite Chiropractic to the Horines, a great group of folks. If you need a little adjustment, be sure and reach out to them. Also to Carrie, thanks again for coming in. I know you were getting ready to do some traveling, and you decided, hey, I think I can throw myself together and get here. So I appreciate you doing that.
I have like 150 things.
You know, Tom is sitting at home. What is he doing? What is, I mean, honestly, he's sitting at home. See, you know, honestly.
Because they're very sad.
No.
House sitter coming.
No.
And her job is to let puppies sit on her.
Consoling them and working.
Sad. I don't even know how he's sad. Like, but Tom used to travel.
So he knows when. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so he kind of knows the signs and the flurry of activity.
Wow. Well, there you go. Well, we'll thank our good friend Steve Place, Dr. Steve with Simply Cool. Johnny Brusco's, get you some great pizza there as well, great salads. Meteor Guitar Gallery. Speaking of pizza, you know, we had a great time downtown there at Peddler's Pub in Bentonville.
Beautiful
Oh.
camera work. I mean, everything the lighting is beautiful.
Well,
You want to go in and just see a beautifully designed restaurant. It's
It is.
amazing. I mean, just
It
the
is.
details.
and here it was, great tech savvy guys behind the scenes, wielding the ability to, you know, go throughout the restaurant, and Jeremy and everybody was on top of their game, and you did a great job. That was, you know, I didn't realize we had that. Every week Jeremy amazes me with these new techno gadgets he comes up with, so, you know.
It's never, it's not
No.
easy to amaze me.
Mm-mm. Well, you know,
I have a love-hate relationship with technology.
I think we all do, you know, again, for Web Untied, they're your tech guys right there. So, Meteor Guitar Gallery, our good friend Les over there. Kumon Learning Centers, I don't want to forget those folks. You know, through the summer, you don't want to forget to keep learning, because just sitting and indulging yourself in the video games, nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, need a little learning focus in there. But on top of that, need to get out with the family, get the mountain bikes, get walking, get hiking, get doing something. It's not all about sitting in the old room thumbing it.
I know. What you miss, I've kind of become a little bit interested.
Yeah?
I'm not signing on yet, but just the idea of slow living.
Yes.
So.
Well, you know, I thought of you and Tom the other day. Here was a whole group of guys and some of their wives on these bikes that you sit down on, as far as you know, not like a regular bike, but I mean, these are almost down to the ground. And I don't even know what you call them. I meant to ask David the other day. Recumbent bike. Okay, there you go. See, you already know about it. You and Tom need some. That's a marriage builder right there. Okay.
So, but yeah, just the idea of riding bikes kind of scares me a little bit. But I have
Really?
a couple of friends that.
There you go.
For him, did one.
There you go. Well, you know, Nuclear Health and Fitness with Ian. Enchanted Designs. Can you see these flowers?
I'm going to post this little green fuzzy thing. Is that a flower?
I believe so. You know?
It's the craziest little thing. So I'm going to send this to Jeremy. He can post it in the comments below. But I wish I could take it up to the camera.
Carla and the gang over there, I'll tell you.
I mean, she just has the stuff that she
Ah,
brings.
it's phenomenal. If you didn't,
Oh, and look,
you know, it,
plaid kind of
exactly,
shirt. It's
exactly,
like,
you know,
Madras plaid.
Madras plaid.
Did you know?
Yes, I knew it. You know, being in the clothing
No,
business.
I knew that was
But I didn't know on that. You know, I didn't
you
tune
didn't
into
know
that
you
one.
were gonna
Yeah, I didn't. No, I didn't. No. See,
There you go.
they're on it. And if you didn't get flowers for your mom for Mother's Day from Enchanted Designs, I don't even know what to tell you. Folks, they do a fabulous job. There's still a chance. They do. You know, although I had to laugh yesterday, I could have been wrong, but when I drove by there, I think I was totally pitch black in there. And I think the good reason why was they were open on Sunday, on Mother's Day. Now, where can you find a florist, guys, that's open on Sunday? Now, this is for the guys because, look, we always wait till the last minute. The ladies are sitting there waiting. They're waiting for the card. They're waiting for the candy. They're waiting for the flowers. And guess what? We're always the last minute. I couldn't count the number of guys in Walmart the other day on Saturday, like hoarding over the card section. I mean, Hallmark, you know, it's a Black Friday on a holiday for Hallmark. And American Greetings, too. I don't want to leave them out. I'll get an ugly letter from those folks. So I don't want to leave out American Greetings.
I tell you what, I think there's nothing more joyful than Walmart, like right before a holiday where you got to buy stuff for a woman.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's like the guys are just like buying whatever's loose on the end caps.
Yeah. Well, and again, you know, sometimes you can have an accident out in front of Walmart and you want to make sure you're insured. And with that, we don't want to forget to thank our good friend Rita Spicer with Spicer Insurance Agency. And she's there for home, health, auto, life, all that good stuff. So
Nationwide.
Nationwide?
It's on your side.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Okay, so I told you I didn't watch TV, but okay.
Just a little bit.
I must have been walking through the room when they were on. So.
Well, you know, I think when Tom and you are kind of settling into this easier living, I can picture the TV hours kind of picking up, you know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's like in week 6 of retirement.
Yeah.
And I'm used to the house being a tomb during the day.
Exactly.
He literally turns the TV on the moment he gets up in the morning and turns it off right before he goes to bed. And see, I don't watch TV because it's like a TV guy. And so I don't really, unfortunately, I finally told him, I said, look, I cannot watch more movies and movies with people screaming all day. You've got to watch some different stuff, so.
Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. There's a company out there, I think it's called Beats. Is that the company? Makes these great headphones, Bluetooth, you know, hook it to your TV. Tom, I want you to connect with the guys at Web Untied and, you know, just, they'll show you the whole plethora of Beats out there.
What he did for me,
And
he bought me Bose Bluetooth.
Bluetooth, well, see, there you go. Both bought you. You didn't need them. He needs them. I hate to think when he gets to senior living in terms of retired here at Village on the Park, and all of a sudden, you know.
They're going to have a DJ.
Exactly. There you go. And a band. Yes. And home long before noon.
Yeah.
There you go. Home by nap time. There you go. All right, folks. Well, we have plundered, as they say, a perfectly wonderful show today in an hour plus and change, and we did pretty good. So, folks, we're excited. Next week, we are going to be at a wonderful facility called Four Wheel Concepts. And we've got our good friend right across from the Kia dealership here in Bentonville on Auto Row. And we're going to be visiting with the owner. Oh, it is. I'll tell you, you know, if Tom isn't in heaven about doing things to his cars, let me tell you, these guys have got it going on. So. The Moberly Auto, no, that's the Moberly Auto Row. He is right. He is almost in the same parking lot as Fletcher Honda. So he is,
right there.
yes,
Okay.
right there.
How sad. I drive down that road twice a day. I mean, between Walton
Yep.
and 102.
And 102.
Both directions
There you go. Yep. So, right there. We're gonna look at some real tricked out stuff.
I can't wait.
Well, there you go. So, Jason, I think it's Jason is his name. Anyway, I'm probably tearing up the name right away. But that being said, those guys are probably going to show us how it's done. So, we'll be back next week, and we're excited to be at Four Wheel Concepts, and we look forward to having you there. Until next week, folks, good morning, neighbor.